Hey guys, welcome to Tuesday. I'm going to start off with your nervous system today. These are your notes that I gave you yesterday. So if you turn them in, I should have returned them to you and you should have access to edit them and everything again. And if not, shoot me an email or something like that and I'll make sure that you do, or I'll try to make sure that you do. So, but you should, if you click the turn in button on Classroom, have them back. And when we talk about the nervous system, what we're really talking about is how you send and receive electrical messages in your body, from your brain to your body, and from your body back to your brain. So, there are a few types of nervous systems that you have in your body, which we'll also kind of review. And then I have a quick lab for you guys to try at home if you want to do that as well. I'm on slide 6 here, which is the start of the nervous system, and it just says, "Hey, think about your brain. Think that, like that. That's the system that we're kind of talking about." Okay, I'm going to slide 7, which is kind of the start. You're definitely willing to click this if you want. It should give you kind of instructions, but basically, what you're going to do is you're going to pull this away in order for you to kind of see what is behind it. And I'm having a little trouble doing that. There we go. There. So these are just kind of facts about your nervous system. I'll walk you through them. There are about 100 billion neurons in your brain. And so you probably have to know what a neuron is. A neuron is a cell that sends and receives an electrical message in your body. And you got about 100 billion of them just in your brain alone. That doesn't include all of the rest of your body. The longest cell in your body is actually a neuron, and it can be a meter long. And I love doing this in class, but I can't really show you that right now, I guess. But the meter that is the cell starts at basically the heel of your foot and runs up your leg to your spinal cord, and it is one cell. You could think of it like fishing line. It's really, really, really super thin. You can't really see it. You'd still need a microscope, but it does run the length of your entire leg. And the third fact here is the left side of your brain controls the right side of your body. This has some truth to it. There is definitely some portion of your brain on the left side that controls the right side of your body, and vice versa, the right part of your brain controlling the left side of your body. But that's not altogether fact. There is definitely some crossover there. The right side of your brain will control parts of the right side of your body as well. So, but there is some truth to that fact. Okay. Our next one is that a message can travel 100 meters per second. And if you guys are familiar with track, and right now would be track and field season, that's why I usually have this up there. It's the length of a 100-meter dash, and it can do it in 1 second. And you would think, like, that's pretty fast. If you did the math, you would go, it's not terribly fast. But the thing is, it doesn't have to travel 100 meters. An electrical signal only has to travel about 2. So it can do 2 meters extremely quickly. And that's why you can send and receive electrical messages from your body to your brain and back down to your body so quickly and so fast, because it does move pretty quick. And your last fact here is that in newborn babies, the brain is known to grow 3 times within the span of a year. It like doubles in size 3 times in the first year of life. So when the newborn baby is born, its brain is growing like just in a crazy way. And then as we grow older, your brain actually loses a little bit of mass every year, and kind of shrinks a little bit. And we're talking a gram is not too much weight or not too much mass, but it does tend to shrink as you get older. So those are just some cool facts about the nervous system. Let's talk about the general parts of the nervous system, and then I'll show you what I kind of want you to do for a test of your nervous system today and how fast and how well signals work. So going here to number 8, the main part of your nervous system is called the central nervous system. And this is you can think of it being in the center of your body. These 2 organs are super important for sending messages and receiving messages. They are your brain, of course, located in your head, and then connected to your brain running down the length of your torso is your spinal cord. And that's kind of like the central highway for all of the information coming from your body and all the information going out to your body. Most all of it gets fed through that spinal cord. So both are super important parts of the central nervous system. You also have something called a peripheral nervous system. You can think of peripheral as out to the side, out to the edges. And these are all of the branches of neurons and nerve cells that are in your skin and in your organs. They are every part of the nervous system that is not the brain and the spinal cord. They're located all over the place. And of the peripheral nervous system, you actually have two types of nerve cells. Okay, they're called the motor neuron and the sensory neuron, and you can drag these out of the way. And a motor neuron sends messages from your brain to your body. And we call it that because then it controls things like motor movements. If you want to lift your leg, a motor neuron sends that message to your leg muscles. If you want to wiggle your toes, a motor neuron is sending an electrical signal from your brain to your toes. Okay? On the other side, you have a sensory neuron. If I drag that out of the way, sensory neurons, they send messages from your body up to your brain. Okay, so if you step on a rock with your toe, that pain signal would travel through a sensory neuron up your leg, through your spinal cord, into your brain. These neurons are one-way streets, so they only send an electrical message in one direction. Motor neurons only send messages from your brain out to your body, and sensory neurons is like a whole nother road that sends a message from your body back to your brain. So again, think of them like one-way streets. They only have one way that they can send an electrical message. So speaking of that, let's do some sensory neuron stuff. On Classroom, attached to here, I added the Sense of Touch Lab, just something that you guys can do today if you want. Some background here: your skin is filled with thousands of nerve cells. These are neurons, is what they're called, and they're constantly sending electrical messages and impulses to your brain. These nerves help protect you from danger. They keep you sensitive to the environment around you. And we're going to find out which areas of your skin have the most. So if you have a couple toothpicks or anything like small, and like if you have a couple pens or pencils around the house that aren't too sharp, go ahead and work with them. They just have to have like two little pointy ends. And you're going to work with someone in your home, hopefully, and you're going to test 10 areas of your body. I don't have the data table listed here. I would just say pick 10 areas of your body that you want. I didn't give you a data table. Have your partner gently place like a toothpick on like one part of your skin and then another one near it. So they're kind of close to each other. Close your eyes, look away so you don't know the results, right? And then you just say, hey, I can feel two toothpicks there. And they move them a little bit closer together. Hey, I can still feel two toothpicks. Move them a little bit closer together. Move them a little bit closer together until you, as the person with their eyes closed, only really feels one point of touch, or one toothpick touching you. And then you're going to measure that distance between the two toothpicks and record that distance. And yeah, there's a couple questions like, hey, look at the data you collected. Which area, if you did your arm, is most sensitive to touch? Would it be like your wrist? Would it be your forearm? Would it be your like bicep, your upper arm? And you guys put some answers in there. Which area of your face? So maybe do an area of your face or your head that's most sensitive to touch. Where in the body might you assume you have relatively few receptors? So this would be an area where you don't have a lot of sensitivity. The distance between the two toothpicks is quite large. So if they're really far apart and you think that they're touching or they're close together, or you only feel one point, that would be a very insensitive area. It would be an area with relatively few receptors. If you get them really close together and you can still feel 2 points, that would be an area with a high amount of nervous receptors. Besides the ones that you tested, where might you expect there to be a large number of receptors, and why do you think that way? Okay, so the more receptors you have in your skin in a certain area, the more sensitive it's going to be, and the better you're going to be at feeling the 2 points as they get closer together. That's kind of the lab. It's something simple for you to do. Test your nervous system. You can answer the questions as best you want. Keep them open. I'll just let you type in there whatever answers that you get. So something fun to do with someone in your home if you are stuck inside on this kind of rainy Tuesday. Take it easy, guys, and stay safe. Have fun.